Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Before I start, I've been showing this actually in all my videos. I always have my watches on this now. If anyone's interested in one of these, I got it from Daily Watches. I've actually got a discount code. I'll leave it in the description below as to a link for one of these. Anyway, today we have a rather cool, I think really fresh looking Tissot for you. This is part of their T-Sport range, and this one's called a Sideral. And it's just, I think, a really good looking watch. I like a watch which stands out a little bit, and this one I really think does. It's something a little bit different, and if you follow the channel you'll know I always like things which are just a little bit more left field than others. But before I get into review, I've got to say a big thank you to Ryan and the team over at Francis Gaye of Coventry for allowing me to review this watch. You know, you've seen the amount of watches I brought back from them. They've got so much stock, guys. Well worth popping in if you're in the Midlands area. If you're a bit further afield, check out their website. I dare say they'll be able to sort you out a deal and get a watch out to you ASAP. So, what do we have here? First of all, let's talk sizes. It's a 41mm case size by 14.5. I was getting it in thickness, though you do have a big domed crystal on there, and the lug to lug, so the furthest point out on this watch here was 46.2mm. The strap size, now it does step down, so be aware that is 20mm in there, obviously wider at that point, but if you wanted to put a different strap on there it would be a 20mm strap you'd be looking at. Let's check out that dial. Now it just stands out, doesn't it? It's got a real, it's almost like a bit of a vintage look to it, but it does also stand out, and I like that kind of thing. Now, what we actually have here is a black kind of matte dial, and the hour and minute track is all printed on there, but it is full of lume and well worth. The lume is pretty impressive, I have to say. I'll drop some pictures in now. It is a multi-lume and it looks superb. The reason for these highlighted parts here, it's all to do with regatta races, and they have this 5-minute prior to start thing. Now, on the dial, what they say is you can actually use it as a chronograph. Now, to be fair, you can do that on any watch, but that's, you know, I'm not really going to dwell on that really. I just love, I hate to say it, I just love the colours. I think they stand out really cool. I even like the font they've used on the Tissot. It's all looking very retro and rather cool. Obviously we have a framed date over here at a 3 o'clock position, and Swiss made down there, and Powermatic 80. Now, as we come past that, we have this rather nice double domed sapphire crystal. It is a real nice one, this one, plus it's got a nice beveled edge on there. It is sapphire, it has got AR coating, and it does a pretty good job of it, really. It seems to stop reflections quite well. Now, as we come past this, the bezel, again, has this unusual looking dial readout on there. So we have the normal 15 minutes for, you know, the kind of graduated diver's bezel. This, after all, is a 300-meter diver. But why it has this this readout here, again, regatta races where they start 5 minutes before, so you could set it there, and once that's started, then you know it's going to actually, the race will start at that point. Again, not something I would ever use myself, but I do use a bezel for timing other things. And the action of this bezel, very positive, very, actually, almost no backplay. It is actually quite impressive. And as for lining up, yep, I'd say it lines up pretty spot on, really. So it's quite a nice bezel. Obviously PVD black coated. You do have a coin edge to it there to enable you to grip it. Now, the body of the watch. Now, this is where things get a bit more interesting. We have a full forged carbon body, and I think that looks absolutely superb on this watch. It is quite interesting how you see this here, and that really is the true case of the watch. As you can see here, it is a, basically a steel cage, and it's been wrapped in this forged carbon, and that's why they can keep the cost down on this watch. even though you're getting all this cool lume, nice bezel, carbon, and a decent Swiss movement, I think Francis and James have got it advertised at $9.15, but I do believe there's a deal for around about $7.70. And at that price, this is simply sensational. I think that's a really good price watch. Anyway, as we come round to the crown, is it signed? Yep, we've got the sign there, and it is a screw down crown. As you can see, it pops out, and that screws back in ever so easy, to be fair. That is quite a smooth crown. Now, as we come round to the back, you can see, obviously, the star here is the Powermatic 80. Now, the main thing with this, obviously, you are getting a 80-hour power reserve. It's basically a modified kind of tuned 2824, but where the 2824 beats at a higher beat rate and so has a lesser power reserve, this one beats at a slower beat rate. Now, I did put this on the time grapher earlier, and it did a really great job. I can't remember, I think it was like 3 seconds or so, and yeah, can't fault it at all. It did a really good job. Now, this movement, if ever you had to regulate it, let me just see this, if I can pull this out here, see if I can stop it. Now, how you regulate this watch is a little bit different. You have these screws here, and you have to adjust them on each side accordingly. So a little bit harder to do if you were going to regulate this watch yourself, but it is possible. But overall, just great. You can see a nice screw down crown. I do like a case, screw down case back. I do like a display case back as well, so you can actually see what watch is doing. Now, as we come past this, we have this gorgeous, so soft and pliable strap on this watch. I should point out this is available in a total of 3 colours. Obviously what we have here, and a blue and a yellow one. And they have slight variations to the dial as well. And I just love it. I think this is just one of those watches which stands out. It looks so cool. The strap, as I say, really, really incredibly soft. I don't know if it's an FKM, but I'm not sure. But it is so soft. Now, how you do this up, you can see we have pin pushers there. So it simply goes through and you put in there, and that's how it locks in. Now, only time will tell how well these work over, because sometimes they might enlarge, I don't know, or these might come loose. I'm really not sure. But the good thing is you can always swap this out, and they are quick release on there as well. So no tools needed. You can just pop that out if you wanted to change one of these, to even possibly change it to a different colour. I don't know, but you do always have this option. Obviously with this tonneau case kind of shape here, this kind of blends into it, and overall it does a really good job, I think. So anyway, let's actually try it on my wrist and see how it looks. Let's plonk that there. Quick wrist check. I'm wearing a Zin EZ-M2, GSG9, and Mr. Bob, the old MHD watch he's got on there. That's very cool. I should point out, actually, the box for this watch, before I put it on, is quite cool as well. It's just a nice little way, opens up, and you actually get this kind of... It's held in this, and it's actually a kind of soft carrying case for your watch. Again, nice little touch. Don't have to do it, but I think it looks cool. So let's put it on my wrist. Just put this on. Now I say my wrist size is 7¼ inches. Okay, that's it on my 7¼ inch wrist. I think it looks superb. It is just a cool, fresh looking watch and something different. And that's the main thing. Very cool. Let me know in the comments below what you think of it, guys. Anyway, all the best, and most importantly, stay safe out there. Bye.